So what's going on, guys? Sorry for taking so long for the next video, but ever since this big freeze that happened in Houston a couple months ago, I've been working double time, many hours, overtime, working 6-7 days a week, and I haven't had really time to myself. I just got back from Mexico, took a little time off, and now I'm here out and about trying to get things done. So to the next video, today I'm gonna talk about these big batteries that are coming out with Dewalt and Milwaukee. Now, Dewalt just announced they're going to be making a 15 amp flex volt battery. So that's going to be a big major help for all these big tools that we have working in the industry and construction and stuff like that. Now, a lot of things that I've heard about those big Dewalt tools with batteries that big is that they mess them up. I haven't really seen that, to tell you the truth. The only thing I've used it with is my bandsaw, my 5-inch bandsaw, and the only thing I do see a difference is that it really works really good. You know, like if you don't be careful, it'll cut your foot off or your finger off. If you got to be very precise with it, because it has that extra oomph. Now, another thing that I use it with is my multi-tool. Just because I ran out of my smaller batteries and I don't have time to charge it, so I slapped that on and it worked just fine. I mean, I haven't had any problems, but I have heard that if you put these big batteries with regular 20-volt tools, that they will burn out or something like that. And I'm pretty sure they might, just because they have so much power going to such a small little tool that you don't really need all that power. So maybe it is, maybe it's not. So today I went to go buy a flex volt miter saw for a job. My boss wanted to get a new miter saw. We don't have power at the house, so we need a miter saw that's battery operated. Now, the reason why I went with Dewalt is just because you can actually tie it into the adapter, and you can go off to 120 volt off the house, off the plug. So it really makes a big difference. If the battery is fine, they last a lot long. The only thing I didn't like about it, that it came in the package, was it only came with 2 6-amp flex volt batteries, and which is fine. I thought they were going to come out with 9. I'm not really paying for it. My boss is paying for it, so it doesn't really matter to me, but you never know, he might give it to me because he doesn't really use it. I'm the guy who's going to use it, so whatever. But that's my only downside. Now, another downside was the charger. The charger, it was only at 4 amps per port. What I like about it, it has 2 sliding ports, so you can charge 2 batteries at one time, but they're both 4 amps. Now, I have another one, the wall charger, that is a 6 amp. They came with a grinder flex volt that we got for a project, and I also got another one that I think it's the fast charger. Yeah, it's the fast charger, and that one is at 8 amps. So I'm kind of not mad, but I'm kind of disappointed at Dewalt that they didn't give us a nice little 8 amp, 6 amp charger, because if you have these flex volt batteries and you slap them on, it's going to take a while for them to charge. So you might as well buy 2 new batteries, flex volt. So here, I'm just show it to you right now real quick so you can take a look at it. Now here I have 3 chargers. This is the charger that came out with the flex volt miter saw. This one's the one that came with a flex volt grinder, and this one, I think I had got this a long time ago. This actually, the battery that came with it got stolen, but I had kept the charger, so it's pretty good. And let me show you what it has in the back. Now, I don't know if it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but I'll show it to you. Okay, this is the Dewalt double port from the Dewalt flex volt miter saw. As you can see for each single port, the output is at 4 amps DC. Not very much. Then you go to the single one, the black one, and it's at 6 amps DC. 2 amps better than the previous one. And then we go to the yellow one, which is the fast charger, and it's at 8 amps DC. So really, you don't even need that double port. You can just keep this 2 over here, that's single port. I mean, it's gonna be a little hassle because you gotta carry 2, but it's better because you can't wait to have all these batteries charging, especially these flex volts. And if you try to charge it on the regular charger, it would take forever. So it would be better if just getting these 2 chargers and taking it to the job site, unless you still get some more flexible batteries. But still, after you run out of power, it's gonna be a while before it can re-energize and have enough power to go again. Okay, not only am I gonna talk smack about Dewalt, I'm also gonna talk smack about Milwaukee. Now, when Milwaukee came out with these 12 amp batteries, it was a godsend because we could use it for big tools that we need to use, and it's gonna run out of power so soon. This is perfect for my cordless hoe hog that usually if I use the 9 amp or any battery lower than that, it's gonna run out of power in an hour or 2, okay? But this, I can use it all day long or at least 4 hours continuously and it still be good. Now the 12 amp has the HD, so it's more better than these older ones, the 9 amps. Now the thing is that right now, since all these houses got flooded with the bursted pipe of water, we've been having to use cordless tools, and because we don't have electricity in the houses. But I was using a framing gun, the new Milwaukee framing gun, and it works just fine. It popped every nail just perfectly. But look what it did to my batteries. And these are fully charged batteries. Now the 9 amp is the one that really got messed up. The 9 amp, if I use it with any tool that really draws a lot of power, it will go to 1 bar really quickly. So now the only thing I use it for is maybe a drill or so, but my main thing that I have with this battery is using it for this lantern. I can have it on this lantern and it's gonna be there all day long, running all day long perfectly. But if I put it on any tool that's high demand, it's not gonna work. It's gonna run out of power real quick. It's gonna be at 1 bar. I don't know what's wrong. I think I've heard it on YouTube or somebody else talking about it. But Milwaukee, you gotta fix these things. I'm not complaining. They still work. I use this 12 amp for the framing gun and it still works. But like I said, look, this is a full charge battery and it doesn't go all the way to the 4th. Now the thing is that whenever I use it all up and literally to the last bar and I charge it up, sometimes it will charge all the way to 4, but very rarely would that happen. If it happens to me maybe 5 or 10 times, and I had it for a while, and we've been using that framing gun at work for a while too, so it doesn't really happen a lot. But sometimes when I get it all the way to 1 bar, it will charge up to full capacity on the light bars. But now right here, I just put it in a charger, and as you can see, it only shows 3 bars. So Milwaukee, you gotta think about those things. Maybe your tools might mess up these batteries. You gotta just check on that. And next we have Makita. It wouldn't be fair to Dewalt and Milwaukee if we didn't bring Makita into the ring. In my opinion, but Milwaukee, Dewalt, and Makita are the top 3 contenders in the construction game. I know there are other brands, Rigid, Ryobi, and etc., but in my opinion, Makita, Dewalt, and Milwaukee are the most tools that I see at the job site. Now, the only problem I have with Makita is this. 5 amp is the biggest batteries they have. They do have these double port 36 volt tools, which is very smart because this way you don't have to buy more batteries or new batteries from a different platform, but you can have these 2 batteries and they will share the work between the 2. Now, the only downside is you gotta have 4 batteries or more. So if 2 run out, you have 2 ready to do the work that you're doing. Some people have asked me, what do you think about this new Makita 40-volt tools and batteries? Should they start switching to the new platform? Now, if you really want to switch up to the Makita 40-volt platform, that's all you. If you have the money to spend it, or maybe you think that you need that extra oomph, go right ahead. But me, like I said, the tools that I got from Makita, they work just fine, and they don't ask a lot from these batteries. Now, if you switch up to the 40-volt platform, you're gonna pay that money, because once you start buying one, you're gonna have to buy two, and then you just gotta keep on going and going. So I'm not saying they're trying to drag you into buying their tools, but once you start buying one, you're gonna start buying another one. Luckily for me, I have my Milwaukee tools that, yes, they have to work around these big batteries, and you got to use these big batteries, and they are a lot more bulkier and heavier, and sometimes they might not be so smooth or comfortable to use it with big tools. But hey, that's a big thing about it. It's like these framing guns, or these pneumatic guns compared to the framing guns. You know, the pneumatic guns, they're super much less heavy, but you have to drag around the hose. You got to bring in the compressor. I mean, it takes about 15-20 minutes, and that's somebody who's actually a professional, been doing it for years, to set up all that stuff. And then you go into these finished houses, and you start marring the floor with the hose or with the air compressor, and it's bad for business. Now, of course, when you come in there with a battery powered framing gun or nailer, you have nothing to worry about. You just have that nailer, but it's a lot heavier on the hands, which I'm pretty sure these 40-volt Makita batteries are going to be a lot heavier. Me personally, I'm going to stick to the Makita 18-volt. I hope they come out with a 6 amp and 8 amp and 9 amp as other manufacturers. But now, final thoughts and conclusion. Should you switch to the Makita 40-volt platform? In my opinion, no, not for me, because all my Makita tools that are 18-volt, I don't need them too much, and I don't use them too much, and the 5 amp battery is just enough power for my tools. Now, if you need a little bit more power, just go with a 36-volt tools if you already have a whole bunch of Makita batteries. But let's just say you're on a lower tier platform, and now you're looking to go into a higher tier platform, go ahead, but they're going to be heavier tools. Now, luckily for me, I have Makita, Dewalt, and Milwaukee batteries, so I get to switch between platforms of which one do I want. Before I even buy any tool, I've said in other videos, I do my research. I check how much they weigh. You might be like, oh, 5 pounds and 6 pounds difference is not a lot. But when you're carrying it every day, it gets really heavy, especially if you got to carry it up the stairs in a skyscraper. So just do your research. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time.